Okay, so this is a Tales from Retail, How Retail Negatively Affects Your Mindset, Part 3. Now, I'm going to get back to myself instead of the video, but I did get some ideas from him to realize things are even worse for him than I think when I was a young person. So for me, the thing is, I liked my job the best when there was no customers in the store. That was the thing, is how I always felt. Now, we had kind of an afternoon run when I was waitressing, and I would notice that even, for example, when I was doing retail, selling clothing retail, there was kind of a run in the morning from maybe about 10 until 2, and then it kind of started to settle down after 2 to 4. It started going down a little bit, and there was less customers. Night, there was not as many customers, but people who are trying to return things to retail are very grumpy. It's very similar to like people who are hungry are very grumpy. I mean, I found that they're very grumpy at times, and they want things a certain way. You know who gets blamed for it? The waitress. The waitress is who gets blamed for it, not the person cooking it who didn't cook it the right way. The waitress gets blamed for it, which means that the waitress is not going to get a tip, is not going to get much of a tip. And so back when I was young, sometimes there was people who might tip me 5 cents, 10 cents. That was the most that they would leave for a tip. Every once in a while, I might get someone who would leave $1 or $2, but most of the time, I'd say the average tip was probably a quarter. Sometimes people would leave 2 pennies on the table, and that would be it. They might have been in high school or something. At least they were thinking about me a little bit. They might have been my high school peers. They were thinking about me a little bit. I never expected a tip really from anybody, and especially when it was people I knew were in high school. Didn't expect a tip from them at all, because I knew, it's like I knew that they were broke just like I was broke. But it negatively affects your mindset, because in the future, I started thinking about, I do not want to work in retail. I thought, if I work in a store or something, I want to work behind the scenes where I don't have to be directly out in front with customers, because I knew how irate and angry that customers can get related to their purchases and food. And, so I was recognizing this myself as a young child. I even remember sometimes, this could be one of those stories I got in trouble for with my family a little bit on Facebook, because my grandma would talk to the cashier sometimes, I thought it seemed like a long time, related to things not adding up from purchases, which that's